What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So once again, newly crowned unified lightweight world champion Australian star boxer George Kambosos Jr., 20 wins, no loss, and no draw, 10 wins by way of knockout, 28 years of age, 5'9" with a 68-inch arm reach. With that said, George Kambosos Jr. is going into a highly anticipated undisputed showdown with undefeated WBC lightweight world champion superstar boxer Devin "The Dream" Haney, who is 27 wins, no loss, and no draws, 15 wins by way of knockout. He is 23 years of age, 5'9" with a 72-inch arm reach. It's scheduled to take place June 4th in the United States, June 5th in Australia, because they're a day ahead. With that said, George Kambosos Jr. understands and is well aware that this was not his number one option, okay? So George Kambosos Jr., he tells a false narrative to the fans in Australia as he's promoting the fight, and he states that, you know, the fight has sold out. There's only reserve tickets now. There's not many tickets left. It's a massive fight. And then he goes on to say that this is the fight he's been looking for from the beginning. They're finally getting what they wanted, is Devin Haney in Australia. They knew it would be a major sellout. Your number one option was not Devin Haney. George Kambosos Jr.'s number one option was not Devin Haney. George Kambosos Jr.'s number one option was undefeated 3-division world champion superstar boxer Gervonta Tank Davis, who is 26 wins, no loss, no draw, 24 big wins by way of knockout, 5'5" with a 67-inch arm reach at 27 years of age. And his number two option was two-time Olympic gold medalist, 3-division world champion, former unified lightweight world champion, Ukrainian superstar boxer Vasil High-Tech Lomachenko, with a record of 16 wins, 2 losses, no draws, 11 wins by way of knockout, 33 years of age, 5'6" with a 66-inch arm reach. That was his number one and number two option. Number three was Devin Haney. They don't like the style matchup for Devin Haney against George Kambosos Jr., okay? They're not comfortable fighting Devin Haney, okay? He initially stated that he wanted to fight with Devin Haney, and he took to social media before he upset former unified lightweight world champion superstar boxer Teofimo Lopez, who was 16 wins, 1 loss, no draws, 12 wins by way of knockout. He is 24 years of age, 5'8" with a 68-inch arm reach. Before he upset Teofimo Lopez, November 27th of 2021 at Madison Square Garden, New York, okay? George Kambosos Jr. took to social media and told the social media world when Devin Haney and Teofimo Lopez went viral. He's showing his true colors and letting you know that he was just essentially clout chasing. That's what George Kambosos Jr. was doing all along. He was clout chasing, okay? Because he took to social media, he wanted his name to buzz, and he backed Devin Haney and saying, this dude don't want to fight you, he's being a diva, talking about Teofimo Lopez. But as soon as it's over, once I beat him and upset him, then we'll fight for undisputed. Then he put the handshaking emojis, okay? So he upset Teofimo Lopez, dropping Teofimo Lopez in the first round, getting dropped himself in the 10th round, facing adversity, still getting up and being victorious, right? He said he knew he had to go through Devin Haney to be undisputed. All he wanted was to have the fight in the down under, Australia, right? Well, as soon as it was over, his diva-like ways started to show up, and he started to make excuses because his number one option was Gervonta Tank Davis. As his promoter, Lou DiBella, stated, they wanted to secure a fight with Gervonta Tank Davis because they view him as the cash cow from junior welterweight on down. Gervonta Tank Davis responded, and he stated that he had no interest in fighting George Kambosos because he didn't want the sanctioning fees. So he was following in the footsteps of his promoter, retired Hall of Fame, iconic, legendary superstar boxer Floyd Mayweather, who says that you can't eat the belts. They do nothing for you, okay, but collect dust, okay? So why do I have to pay sanction fees? So Gervonta Tank Davis was following that road. So they went to the next best option, which is Lomachenko, because Lou DiBella doesn't have a network to showcase his fighters on, okay? He doesn't have a platform and a network to showcase his fighters on, so he wanted to have it done on ESPN. He doesn't get along with Matchroom CEO and promoter Eddie Hearn, who Devin Haney, DHP, father, trainer, manager, CEO of DHP, Devin Haney Promotions, partners with Bill Haney. Okay, so they fight on DAZN, but they, as you can see, they are flexible. They're network promotional free agents. They do fight by fight basis. And so they didn't want to fight Devin Haney on DAZN, right? Because they can't call the shots. So they wanted to drag Devin Haney to ESPN, in which Devin Haney obliged and stated that he was willing to do whatever George Kambosos wanted him to do to make this fight happen. Go to Australia, no problem. Okay? George Kambosos, he initially stated, right, that it's not about money, it's about legacy and entertaining the fans, is what he stated, right? And then he changed that and he told Devin Haney to sell all his belongings, his jewelry, so that he can have the necessary money to pay the purses to get it done, and said, you know what it's going to take. So his diva-like ways was showing up. After he said, Teofimo Lopez is a diva and never going to fight you for undisputed. We know I got to go through you to be undisputed. Then he changed his profile on all his social media, the status on it, from unified to undisputed, when he's the franchise champion, right? And said that he don't have to beat Devin Haney. Then he changed it that you know the price is going to take to get the fight done. So he's been flip-flopping this entire time. And once again, now because the fight is a draw, now because he sees the fight is going to sell, right? And so now he's saying that Devin Haney was all along. We finally got Devin Haney to come to Australia, and I can't wait to take his belt. But you said he wasn't the real champion. You stated that Devin Haney's an email champion, that he wasn't the real champion. You're the undisputed champion. So why can't you wait to take his belt to be undisputed? These are the things and the politics within the sport of boxing that hurts the sport of boxing. These are the things overall that hurts the sport of boxing. Okay? When you have a fighter that gets in this position of quote unquote power, and they start flip-flopping, playing games with the fans, because that's what he's doing. So now he's telling the fans that in Australia, they knew this fight was going to be enormous. They knew it was going to sell, and they were focused on Devin Haney to begin with. No, you wasn't. You was focused on Gervonta Tank Davis, who was not going to come to Australia. Floyd Mayweather wouldn't allow Gervonta Tank Davis to come to Australia. Okay? And Bob Arum, in the position of power, legendary promoter, top-ranked CEO and promoter, who has a partnership with ESPN, worldwide leader in sports, in which that's what Lou DiBella is seeking out, the network. So Bob Arum is in a position of power, which means Bob Arum calls the shots. So there's a strong chance and possibility that Lomachenko might not have went to Australia because they hold the cards. But again, they stated that Lomachenko, he signed a deal, a 2-fight deal, to go over to Australia, okay, to face off against George Kambosos Jr. But we know the situation with Lomachenko being 10 toes down in the Ukraine and defending his country in their unfortunate chain of situation of events, okay? So he's not available. So Lomachenko's not available. Gervonta Tank Davis, he put the fight down immediately. And Lomachenko wasn't available, so you had to go to the next best option. As Bob Arum put it, if it wasn't a big fight with Devin Haney, right, then they wasn't going to back George Kambosos or Lou DiBella. So they had to negotiate a fight. They told Lou DiBella and George Kambosos Jr. they're not going to back him and support him if he's having a tune-up fight. It has to be a major fight for them to do it. So Devin Haney then goes on to agree to a multi-fight deal with ESPN top rank and Bob Arum to stage this fight. And now George Kambosos Jr. is deceiving the fans once again, trying to tell the fans that this was the plan all along, and they knew that Devin Haney was a major draw. When you stated that Devin Haney, now you can't wait to take Devin Haney belt, when you stated that you had no interest in his belt because he was an email champion. George Kambosos Jr. has never stand pat on anything he stated outside of the fact that he said that he was going to beat Teofimo Lopez, which he did that. He beat Teofimo Lopez, but he's never fulfilled anything he said he was going to do. He simply has not. He's yet to do anything he said he was going to do. He didn't. He stated that he was going to fight Devin Haney right out the gate. He knew he needed to beat him to be undisputed. Yet on all his social media, he changed his status to undisputed. He stated that he wanted to fight in Australia, and he stated that he didn't want a rematch clause. He didn't need a rematch clause for take Devin Haney's paper belt. He's a paper champion, right? It's just an active fight to get to where he really wants to get, the real champion in Lomachenko. And yet, there's a rematch clause that's going to see Devin Haney, should he be victorious, have to fight George Kambosos in Australia in an immediate rematch. He has been untruthful this entire time, this entire process. And it's unfortunate for the fans. It's fighters like this that get in this position that hurts the sport of boxing. But with that said, Devin Haney, George Kambosos has sold out. The tickets are sold out. They only have reserve tickets. They have 20,000 people on standby looking to pick up tickets. It's going to be massive. It's going to be on ESPN pay-per-view. June 4th in Australia, in the United States, June 5th in Australia. They're a day ahead. So let's see how this unfolds and plays out. But that's all I got for y'all, man. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Stylistically, they know that Devin Haney presents a problem. He's very athletic. He's very mobile. He's very slick. He has respectable power. Everybody likes to downplay his power and say he's not a big knockout artist or he's not a big puncher. He has knockout of the year, so he does have respectable power for sure. Okay. And he's very rangy. He has very fast hands, very fast feet. George Kambosos Jr. Is not going to face a guy in Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez, he stood in the pocket. He stood flat-footed. He was looking for one punch, just looking to clip George Kambosos Jr., which he did in the 10th round. And then Teofimo Lopez, he stated that he had issues with his esophagus, so on and so forth. But, you know, he clipped George Kambosos in the 10th round. He just couldn't keep up the pace, and he was looking for one punch, very flat-footed, didn't have a plan B. They know that's not the case with Devin Haney. He's bigger than them. He's more rangy. He's quicker. He's younger. He's athletic. They like their chances against Lomachenko, who's 5'6", with a 66-inch arm reach. He's much shorter. He has a much shorter arm reach. He's 33 years of age. He has 2 losses, and his focus is not there. They like their chances with that, and it was a win-win to fight Gervonta Tank Davis. If he loses Gervonta Tank Davis, he's seen as the cash cow. Like I said, from junior welterweight on down, he's viewed as, you know, the best 135-pounder in the world. Okay, so it's a win-win situation losing to him. They don't like their chances against Devin Haney. They never did. So let's see how this plays out. But that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shouts out to the entire LDBC. Shouts out to New Media. Shouts out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share the videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.